You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change everything. The way you see yourself, the way you move through the world, the way you pursue your goals. It all starts with a simple but life-altering decision. Act as if you are the best. No one is better than you. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about stepping into your potential before the world gives you permission. The truth is, successful people don't wait until they feel ready. They don't wait for external validation. They decide to act as if they belong. And in doing so, they create their own success. Think about the greatest champions, leaders, and innovators. They didn't wait for the world to anoint them as the best. They believed it first. They walked, talked, and carried themselves like winners, long before they were recognized as such. And that belief changed everything. The same power exists within you. When you act as if you are the best, you condition your mind for greatness. Your actions align with success. Opportunities begin to appear. Today, I'm going to show you how this mindset can transform your confidence, career, relationships, and entire life. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I break down exactly how to step into your best self. Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of acting as if. What if I told you that the single most powerful shift you could make in your life isn't about skill, luck, or even intelligence? It's about mindset. The way you carry yourself, the way you think, and the way you act can completely change the trajectory of your life. This is the essence of acting as if you are the best, not as a form of arrogance, but as a tool to unlock your highest potential. Think about it. Every great achiever, from elite athletes to world-renowned entrepreneurs, has at some point had to convince themselves they were worthy of success before the world recognized them. Muhammad Ali didn't become the greatest boxer first. He believed he was the greatest, and then he trained, acted, and fought like it until the world agreed. Steve Jobs didn't wait for permission to lead a revolution in technology. He acted as if he was already that visionary, and his belief shaped reality. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you create through action. The mind is a powerful thing. Neuroscience has shown that our brains cannot always distinguish between imagination and reality. This means when you act as if you are the best, when you walk with confidence, speak with certainty, and as though success is inevitable, your brain starts to believe it. Over time, this belief conditions your actions, and your actions create results. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you carry yourself like a winner, people treat you like one. When you walk into a room as if you belong there, opportunities naturally open up. When you speak with conviction, people listen. But here's where most people get it wrong. They assume they must already be the best before they can act like it. They wait for some external validation, a promotion, a compliment, a stroke of luck, before they allow themselves to feel worthy. This is backward thinking. The truth is, your success starts the moment you decide it does. The moment you choose to step into that next level version of yourself, your actions shift, your energy changes, and the world begins to respond differently to you. This is not about faking it. It's about aligning your thoughts and behaviors with the level of success you want to achieve. Imagine you're preparing for a job interview. If you walk in doubt, unsure of your worth, and feeling like an imposter, that energy seeps into your words, your body language, and your responses. But if you walk in as if you are the best candidate they could ever hire, if you speak with confidence, hold strong eye contact, and truly believe you are the solution to their problems, guess what? You significantly increase your chances of getting that job. This mindset applies to every area of life. In relationships, act as if you are the best partner. In fitness, act as if you are already an athlete. In business, act as if you are already a leader. Because when you act as if you are the best, you begin to become the best. Number 2, reprogramming your mindset for success. The greatest barrier to success is not talent, intelligence, or resources. It's your own mind. Most people live trapped by self-imposed limitations. believing they are not good enough or ready to achieve greatness. But here's the truth. Your mindset shapes your reality. Every belief you hold, whether empowering or limiting, acts as a filter through which you see the world. If you believe you're not capable, you'll find evidence to confirm it. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you will start seeing opportunities everywhere. The key to transformation is rewiring your subconscious mind to align with the success you want to achieve. From an early age, we are programmed by our environment, parents, teachers, society, past failures, into thinking a certain way about ourselves. If you were constantly told to be realistic or that success is reserved for the lucky few, you likely absorbed those beliefs. Maybe you failed before, and instead of seeing it as a lesson, you internalized it as proof that you're not capable. These subconscious programs run in the background, dictating your actions, self-worth, and expectations. But here's the good news. You can rewrite them. Your brain is neuroplastic. It can change, adapt, and be reprogrammed with the right mental conditioning. The first step is awareness. You need to become hyper-aware of the negative scripts running in your mind. What do you tell yourself when faced with a challenge? Do you hear a voice whispering, "I'm not smart enough, I'm not lucky like others, or I'm not ready yet"? These thoughts aren't reality. They're just old, outdated programs that no longer serve you. Once you identify them, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief absolutely true? What evidence do I have that contradicts this? More often than not, you'll realize these are just self-imposed lies keeping you small. Next, replace those limiting beliefs with powerful, identity-shifting affirmations. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," rewire your mind to say, "I am more than capable. I am learning, growing, and improving every day." Instead of thinking, "I'm bad at public speaking," affirm, "I am a confident and engaging speaker." Words shape thoughts, and thoughts dictate actions. The more you reinforce positive beliefs, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious until they become your default identity. Visualization is another powerful tool for reprogramming your mind. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This is why elite athletes mentally rehearse their performances before stepping onto the field. If you see yourself succeeding, speaking confidently, walking into a room with presence, your mind starts believing it's reality. Every day, take a few minutes to mentally step into your best self. See yourself achieving your goals, feel the emotions of success, and embody that energy. Over time, this practice reprograms your subconscious and aligns your actions with your vision. The final step is consistent action. Your brain changes through repetition. The more you act in alignment with your new mindset, the faster it solidifies. If you want to be confident, start speaking up, even when you feel nervous. If you want to be disciplined, follow through on small commitments daily. Each time you act as if you are already that person, you reinforce your new identity. Eventually, you're no longer acting confident, successful, or disciplined. You simply are. Reprogramming your mind isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice. But if you commit to this process, the transformation will be undeniable. You'll wake up one day realizing the old version of you, the one full of doubt and hesitation, is gone. In its place stands someone who expects success, moves with purpose, and operates at an elite level. Because when you change your mindset, you change your reality. Number 3, walk, talk, and think like the best. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is a skill, a habit, and most importantly, a choice. Most people assume that confidence comes from accomplishments, external validation, or years of experience. But the truth is, confidence is created internally first, long before the world recognizes it. It starts with how you walk, how you talk, and how you think. The most successful and charismatic people in the world don't wait to feel confident. They act as if they already are. This is the secret formula to confidence. And once you understand it, you can apply it to every area of your life. Let's start with the way you walk and carry yourself. Before you say a single word, your body is already communicating something about you. Your posture, your movements, And even your eye contact sends subconscious signals to the people around you, and more importantly, to your own mind. The opposite is also true. If you slouch, avoid eye contact, or shrink yourself, you reinforce insecurity and self-doubt. The way you move shapes your internal state. So from this moment forward, move like the best version of yourself. Walk with confidence, look people in the eye, and take up space. Even if you don't feel it yet, your body will trick your mind into believing it. Now let's talk about your voice and speech patterns. Confident people don't rush their words or mumble under their breath. They speak clearly, deliberately, and with authority. They are not afraid to pause, to let their words land, and to own their space in a conversation. Think about the most influential speakers, whether it's Martin Luther King Jr., Oprah Winfrey, or Denzel Washington. They all have one thing in common. They speak with certainty. They don't overuse filler words, like or I think. Instead, they own their words. You can train yourself to speak more confidently by slowing down, projecting your voice, and eliminating self-doubt from your tone. Even if you're nervous, act as if you are the most confident person in the room. Your brain will catch up. Equally important is how you think and talk to yourself. Confidence is built internally before it ever shows externally. If your inner dialogue is full of self-doubt, no amount of good posture or strong speech will compensate for it. Your thoughts dictate your reality. So if you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I don't belong here," you are reinforcing insecurity. Instead, replace those thoughts with powerful, certainty-driven affirmations. Tell yourself, "I am capable. I am prepared. I am the best at what I do." The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they become your truth. One of the fastest ways to build confidence is by stepping into discomfort daily. Most people assume that confidence comes before action, but in reality, it is the result of action. The more you expose yourself to challenges, the stronger your confidence grows. Speak up in meetings. Introduce yourself to strangers. Try things you're not yet good at. Every time you push yourself past fear, you reinforce the idea that you are capable, resilient, and worthy. Another crucial aspect of confidence is how you handle failure. Truly confident people are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear dictate their actions. They understand that setbacks are part of the process. When you act as if you're the best, you are not saying that you'll never fail. You are saying that even if you fail, you will get back up stronger than before. Confidence is about resilience, about trusting yourself even when things don't go as planned. So what's the formula for unshakable confidence? Move like a champion, speak like a leader, think like a winner, walk with purpose, project your voice, eliminate self-doubt, and take action even when you're scared. The more you practice these behaviors, the more natural they become. Before you know it, you won't just be acting confident. You'll become the most confident version of yourself. And when you do that, the world will respond accordingly. Number 4, overcoming fear and doubt through action. Fear is the silent enemy that holds more people back than any external obstacle ever could. It's not talent, intelligence, or resources that separate the successful from the unsuccessful. It's the ability to move forward despite fear and self-doubt. The biggest misconception people have is that confidence comes first and action follows. In reality, it's the other way around. Confidence is built through action. The more you do something, the more competent and fearless you become. The problem is that most people wait until they feel ready before they take action. But the truth is, you will never feel ready. The only way to eliminate fear is to do the very thing that scares you. Fear is a liar. It whispers worst-case scenarios in your mind, convincing you that failure will destroy you, that people will judge you, that you're not good enough. But here's what fear doesn't tell you. Most of what you're afraid of will never happen. Your mind creates exaggerated fears because its job is to keep you in your comfort zone. The brain is wired for survival, not success. It sees anything unfamiliar as a potential threat, even if it's something that could improve your life. That's why speaking in public, asking for a promotion, or starting a new project can trigger anxiety, even though none of these things are actually dangerous. But here's the key. You are not your fear. You are the person who can override it. The best way to overcome fear is by taking immediate, decisive action. Action destroys fear because it proves to your mind that the danger isn't real. Think about a time you were terrified to do something. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, approaching someone important, or making a big life decision. Before you took action, fear was loud and overwhelming. But the moment you stepped forward and actually did it, what happened? The fear started to fade. Why? Because action provides real evidence that you are stronger than your fear. When you move toward the thing that scares you, fear loses its power over you. This is why successful people don't wait until fear disappears. They move forward despite it. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act in spite of it. The only difference between those who achieve great things and those who don't is that the successful feel the fear and do it anyway. They know that hesitation feeds fear, but action kills it. One of the best techniques for overcoming fear is the 5-second rule. The moment you feel hesitation creeping in, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take action immediately. The longer you wait, the more your mind will convince you to back down. If you need to make a difficult phone call, count down and dial the number before you overthink it. If you want to ask a question in a meeting, count down and speak before doubt stops you. Interrupt hesitation with action, and fear won't have time to grow. Another powerful way to dismantle fear is exposure therapy, doing the thing that scares you in small, manageable doses until it no longer holds power over you. If public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking in small groups, then gradually increase the audience size. If you fear rejection, practice getting rejected on purpose. Ask for discounts at stores, start conversations with strangers, or apply for jobs you think are out of your league. When you repeatedly face fear, your brain rewires itself to see it as normal instead of dangerous. Reframing your fear is another game changer. Instead of seeing fear as a warning to stop, recognize it as a green light to go. Fear is proof that you're pushing past your limits. It means you're growing. The people who stay in their comfort zones never feel fear because they're not doing anything challenging. But the people who achieve greatness are constantly facing and conquering new fears. If you're scared, congratulations. It means you're stepping into a bigger, bolder version of yourself. At the end of the day, fear is nothing but an illusion. It's a mental projection of something that hasn't even happened. And if it hasn't happened, that means it's not real. The only real thing is what you choose to do in this moment. You can let fear paralyze you, or you can use it as fuel. Every time you feel afraid, remind yourself, this is not a stop sign. This is a challenge, and I rise to challenges. So how do you become fearless? You don't. You act despite fear, and in doing so, you become unstoppable. You take the leap. You start before you're ready. You train your mind to see fear as an ally, not an enemy. Because the people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who refuse to let it stop them. And today, you make that choice too. Number 5, how to demand more from yourself. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you set for yourself. Every decision you make, what time you wake up, how hard you work, how you treat your body, how you allow others to treat you, comes down to what you tolerate. The problem is, most people settle for good enough in life. They accept mediocrity in their careers, in their health, in their relationships, and then wonder why they never achieve greatness. But here's the truth. Average standards create an average life. High standards create excellence. If you want to stand out, if you want to be exceptional, you need to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever would. The most successful people in any field didn't get there by doing the minimum required. They set a higher bar for themselves than the world expected. Michael Jordan didn't just show up to practice. He practiced harder than anyone else. Serena Williams didn't just train. She committed to being the absolute best, pushing her body and mind beyond what seemed possible. These individuals weren't born superior. They simply refused to accept mediocrity as an option. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't isn't talent. It's the level of standards they hold themselves to every single day. The truth is, no one is coming to push you. No one is going to force you to wake up early, go to the gym, or stay disciplined in your work. That has to come from you. If you don't demand greatness from yourself, life will give you whatever you're willing to accept. If you're okay with being inconsistent, you'll have inconsistent results. If you're okay with procrastinating, your goals will stay dreams. If you don't set a standard for discipline, excellence, and persistence, you'll never experience the success that only comes from those habits. High standards aren't just about wanting more. They're about expecting more from yourself and backing that up with daily actions. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that high standards apply only to big goals like career success or fitness. But true excellence is about demanding the best from yourself in every area of life. It means being disciplined with your health, eating well, training your body, and prioritizing energy. It means holding yourself accountable in your work, delivering more than what's expected, being a leader, and taking pride in what you do. It means setting standards for your relationships, refusing to tolerate toxic people, surrounding yourself with those who elevate you, and being the best partner, friend, or family member you can be. When you raise your standards everywhere, you level up your entire life. So how do you raise your standards? It starts with a simple but powerful question. What am I tolerating in my life right now that I know isn't good enough? Maybe you're tolerating excuses, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Maybe you're tolerating inconsistency, working hard for a few days, then losing focus. Maybe you're tolerating negativity, allowing toxic thoughts, people, or habits to stay in your life. The first step to raising your standards is eliminating anything beneath what you truly want and deserve. Once you identify what needs to change, the next step is to commit to a new baseline. If you decide that from now on, you will tolerate skipping workouts, then skipping is no longer an option. If you decide you will no longer allow yourself to procrastinate on important work, then discipline becomes your new standard. If you decide you deserve a life filled with growth, success, and positivity, then you must cut out anything that doesn't align with that. High standards are not about perfection. They are about consistency in your commitment to excellence. There will be moments when it's hard, when you don't feel like holding yourself to those standards, when you're tired, unmotivated, or tempted to take the easy way out. But that's when high standards matter most, because anyone can be great when it's easy. True excellence is built when you choose discipline, even when you don't feel like it. That's what separates the best from the rest. At the end of the day, success is never about luck. It's about what you demand from yourself every single day. If you want more from life, demand more from yourself. Set a new standard. Refuse to accept anything less than excellence. Because when you expect more, do more, and push for more, you'll get more. And that's how you create an extraordinary life. Number 6, how to feel like the best. Your mind controls your body, but your body also controls your mind. The way you move, breathe, and carry yourself determines not only how others perceive you, but more importantly, how you perceive yourself. If you want to feel like the best, you have to start using your physiology to trigger confidence, power, and certainty. You cannot expect to feel unstoppable while slouching, breathing shallowly, and carrying yourself with hesitation. Your body sends signals to your brain about your emotional state. And if you're walking, talking, and standing like someone who is unsure, guess what? Your mind will believe it. But if you move like someone who is powerful, strong, and dominant, your brain has no choice but to align with that energy. This is the hidden key to feeling like the best, using your body to program your mind. One of the fastest ways to change your emotional state is to change your posture. Research in psychology has proven that power poses can instantly shift your confidence levels. When you stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, and head held high, your brain interprets this as a signal that you are dominant and in control. In contrast, when you slump, avoid eye contact, and make yourself smaller, your brain releases stress hormones, making you feel weak and uncertain. The difference between confidence and doubt can be as simple as how you hold your body. That's why you must train yourself to move like a winner. Walk with certainty. Take up space. Look people in the eye. Hold yourself like someone who deserves success. And soon your mind will follow. Breathing is another crucial factor in controlling your physiology and emotions. When you're nervous, your breath becomes shallow, your chest tightens, and you lose control over your focus. But when you breathe deeply and intentionally, you tell your nervous system to relax, instantly creating a sense of power and presence. This is why top athletes, public speakers, and performers use controlled breathing techniques before stepping into high-pressure situations. The box breathing technique, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and repeating can reset your nervous system and put you in a peak state within minutes. When you control your breath, you control your emotions. And when you control your emotions, you control your actions. Energy is everything. Think about the most magnetic, confident people you've ever met. They don't just speak with conviction. They have an electrifying presence. They radiate energy that makes others take notice. This energy doesn't come from luck. It comes from intentional movement and engagement. If you feel sluggish, uninspired, or low in confidence, the fastest way to shift your state is to activate your body. Move, exercise, stretch, jump, shake out the tension. Energy is generated, not given. If you want to feel powerful, start by moving like someone who is unstoppable. The way you speak also plays a critical role in your internal physiology. Confident people don't just speak loudly, they speak with control, purpose, and certainty. They don't rush their words or seek approval in their tone. Instead, they command attention simply by owning their voice. If you tend to speak too fast when nervous, practice slowing down. If your voice lacks power, train yourself to project with authority. Your vocal tone affects how people perceive you, but more importantly, it affects how you perceive yourself. Start talking like a leader, and soon you will feel like one. Another powerful tool for shifting your physiology is visualization combined with movement. The best athletes, performers, and business leaders in the world use visualization to mentally rehearse their success before it happens. But it's not just about seeing success, it's about feeling it in your body. Close your eyes and picture yourself walking into a room with unshakable confidence, shaking hands with people as if you belong, speaking with power, and executing your goals effortlessly. As you visualize, stand up and physically act it out. Breathe deeply, smile, move with certainty. Your brain will start associating that posture and movement with success, making it easier to embody in real life. At the core of all this is momentum. The more you train your body to feel strong, the more natural it becomes. High energy isn't just for certain moments. It's a way of life. The people who succeed at the highest levels know that how you feel physically affects how you think mentally. That's why they prioritize their health, movement, and presence. They don't just rely on motivation, they create it through action. So if you ever feel uncertain, stuck, or low in confidence, don't wait for the feeling to change first. Change your body and your mind will follow. Stand taller, walk stronger, breathe deeper, move with purpose, speak with certainty, feel like the best, and soon you will become the best. Number 7. How to command respect and influence others. Respect is not given freely. It is earned through presence, action, and consistency. The way people treat you is a direct reflection of how you carry yourself, how you communicate, and the level of certainty you project. If you want to command respect and influence others, you must first respect yourself. You must exude a presence that says, I am someone worth listening to. I am someone who adds value. I am someone who expects and demands excellence, not just from myself, but from those around me. When you act as if you are the best, people start treating you like you are. The first thing people notice about you is your body language. You can be the most intelligent person in the room, but if you walk in with your head down, shoulders slumped, and hesitant movements, people will assume you lack confidence. The world reacts to how you present yourself. If you move with certainty, stand tall, maintain eye contact, and take up space, you are subconsciously signaling that you are in control. When you speak, don't fidget, don't shift nervously, and don't look around for approval. Own your space, Own your presence. People are drawn to those who move with a purpose. Confidence, when displayed physically, becomes magnetic. Your voice is another powerful tool for commanding respect. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. The most influential people in history didn't just have great ideas, they had great delivery. They spoke with conviction, clarity, and controlled pacing. If you speak too softly, too fast, or with uncertainty, people will subconsciously doubt you. Instead, train yourself to speak slower, project your voice, and eliminate weak phrases like "I think," "maybe," or "I'm not sure." But strong communication starts with strong belief in your words. When you say something, mean it. When you make a statement, own it. That energy alone will shift how others respond to you. Respect is also about boundaries. People will treat you according to what you allow. If you tolerate disrespect, lateness, dishonesty, or low standards from others, they will assume it's acceptable. But when you set firm boundaries, when you show that you expect professionalism, respect, and integrity, you naturally elevate the way people interact with you. This doesn't mean you have to be harsh or aggressive. It means you hold your ground and make it clear what is and isn't acceptable in your space. Leaders are not just those who inspire, they are those who set the tone for how things should be done. If you tolerate mediocrity, you will be surrounded by mediocrity. If you demand excellence, you will attract excellence. One of the greatest ways to influence others is by listening more than you speak. Most people assume that influence comes from talking the loudest or asserting dominance in conversations. But in reality, the most respected leaders know that true influence comes from understanding people deeply. When you genuinely listen, people feel valued, heard, and understood. They become more receptive to your words, your leadership, and your presence. Ask great questions, be engaged in conversations. Show that you are not just waiting to speak, but truly absorbing what others are saying. This makes your words carry more weight when you do speak. Another key to commanding respect is being decisive. People naturally follow those who can make decisions quickly and confidently. If you hesitate, second-guess yourself, or constantly look to others for direction, you will be seen as uncertain. Leaders and influential people trust themselves. They gather information, but they don't dwell in analysis paralysis. They make choices, stand by them, and adjust as needed. The more decisive you are, the more others will respect your ability to lead, guide, and take control of situations. Your appearance and personal discipline also play a significant role in how people perceive you. This doesn't mean you have to wear expensive clothes or follow trends, but you do need to present yourself as someone who respects themselves. Dress well, maintain good hygiene, and be intentional about your presence. When you look put together, you feel put together. And when you feel put together, you project confidence that others pick up on. Your level of discipline in how you handle yourself, whether in fitness, organization, punctuality, or preparation, reflects the level of respect you command from others. People take note of those who operate with precision, attention to detail, and self-respect. Lastly, if you want to influence others, be the example. Influence isn't about forcing people to listen or demanding authority. It's about living in a way that inspires others to follow your lead. Show up with energy, confidence, and excellence in everything you do. People respect those who lead by action, not just by words. The moment you start operating as if you are the best, people around you will take notice. They will adjust their behavior to match yours, because leadership is contagious. At the core of commanding respect and influence is this simple truth. People mirror the energy you bring. If you bring hesitation, doubt, and weakness, they will respond accordingly. But if you bring certainty, authority, and high standards, they will elevate their respect and admiration for you. So walk into every room as if you belong there. Speak as if your words matter. Carry yourself as if you are already the best. Because once you do, the world will start believing it too. Number 8. Mastering the art of consistency and discipline. Success is not built in a day, it is built in the small, unseen moments of discipline and consistency that compound over time. Most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack the patience and commitment to show up every single day. The truth is, motivation is fleeting. You won't always feel like putting in the work, waking up early, exercising, or staying focused. That's why the people who rely on motivation fail, while those who rely on discipline and consistency thrive. The best in any field, athletes, entrepreneurs, performers, don't just work hard when they feel like it. They show up, even on the days they don't want to. And that is the difference between mediocrity and greatness. The biggest mistake people make when pursuing their goals is expecting immediate results. We live in a world that glorifies overnight success, but in reality, success is the result of years of disciplined effort. The best in the world became the best, not because they had a single moment of brilliance, but because they outworked, outpracticed, and outlasted everyone else. They understood that every day, every repetition, and every small action was a brick in the foundation of their success. This is what separates champions from the average, the ability to do the small, unglamorous work repeatedly without getting discouraged when results aren't instant. Discipline is about making decisions based on commitment, not feelings. If you only do things when you feel like it, you will never achieve lasting success. Your emotions will fluctuate, but your actions should remain constant. This means sticking to your goals even when you're tired, uninspired, or facing obstacles. It means showing up to train, study, build, and improve, even when it's inconvenient. Champions aren't driven by fleeting emotions. They are driven by an unshakable commitment to excellence. They understand that every workout skipped, every hour wasted, and every excuse made is a lost opportunity to improve. One of the best ways to develop consistency is to eliminate the need for willpower by creating strong habits. If you have to constantly debate with yourself about whether you should take action, you will eventually give in to laziness. Instead, successful people build habits that remove decision fatigue. They wake up at the same time, follow a set routine, and execute their tasks like clockwork. Their success isn't dependent on how they feel each day. It's built into their lifestyle. If you want to be great at something, make it automatic. If you want to get fit, schedule workouts like non-negotiable appointments. If you want to be productive, create structured work blocks where distractions are eliminated. The less mental energy you waste deciding whether to do something, the easier it is to stay consistent. Another crucial aspect of consistency is learning to embrace boredom. The reality is, most of the work required for greatness is not exciting. Training every day, practicing the same skills over and over, working long hours without immediate reward. These things aren't fun. But success doesn't come from doing what's fun. It comes from doing what's necessary. The best performers understand that mastery is built in the repetitions, not in the moments of excitement. They learn to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. If you can develop the ability to stay disciplined even when the work is monotonous, you will separate yourself from 99% of people who quit the moment things become difficult. Another powerful way to build discipline is by using the no negotiation rule. This means removing all wiggle room for excuses. If you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., you wake up at 5 a.m. No debate, no hitting snooze. If you commit to exercising daily, you do it no matter what, whether you're tired, busy, or don't feel like it. When you eliminate the option to quit, you stop relying on motivation and start relying on your own internal standard. This is the mentality that creates unstoppable individuals. Accountability is also a major factor in staying consistent. The best performers hold themselves accountable, but they also surround themselves with others who push them. If you want to be consistent, find an accountability system, a coach, a mentor, or even a friend who won't let you slack off. When you have people expecting you to show up and perform, you are far more likely to follow through. Even more importantly, become your own accountability system. Keep a journal, track your progress, and set clear benchmarks for yourself. Winners don't need constant external validation. They measure their own progress and hold themselves to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. At the end of the day, consistency and discipline are about one thing: doing the work no matter what. The world is filled with people who start strong but fade away when things get hard. Don't be one of them. Decide today that you will be different, that you will show up every single day, no matter the circumstances, that you will put in the work whether you feel like it or not. Because when you master consistency and discipline, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals. Number 9, visualizing success. The greatest athletes, performers, and leaders in history have one thing in common. They saw success in their minds long before it became their reality. Before stepping onto the court, field, or stage, they had already won the battle in their minds. This is not just motivation, it is science. Your brain does not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. That means if you consistently visualize yourself succeeding, walking into a room with confidence, delivering a powerful speech, winning a competition, or achieving a massive goal, your brain starts to rewire itself to accept that as your new reality. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is a mental rehearsal technique used by the world's highest achievers to program their minds for success. Think about it. If you constantly picture failure, rejection, or embarrassment, how do you think you'll perform when the moment comes? Your subconscious mind has already been programmed to expect the worst, and so your actions will reflect that expectation. On the other hand, if you train your mind to repeatedly see success, to feel it, to believe it, then when the time comes, you are simply stepping into a reality. Your mind has already rehearsed. Champions are not surprised when they win. They expected it. They already saw it happening in their minds 100 times before it happened in real life. One of the most powerful aspects of visualization is that it activates the reticular activating system. It is the part of your brain responsible for filtering what you focus on. When you repeatedly visualize success, your reticular activating system starts picking up on opportunities, resources, and pathways to make that vision a reality. Suddenly, you start noticing people, ideas, and chances that were always there, but your mind was too cluttered with doubt to see them. It's like when you decide to buy a specific car, and then suddenly you see that car everywhere. It's not magic, it's mental focus. The same principle applies to success. The more you visualize it, the more your mind seeks out ways to achieve it. The key to effective visualization is clarity and emotion. It's not enough to just see success. You must feel it as if it's happening right now. If you want to become a confident speaker, don't just imagine yourself on stage. Imagine the feeling of control, the excitement, the way the audience responds to your words. If you want to become a champion in your field, don't just see the victory, feel the sweat, the hard work, the energy, the celebration. The stronger the emotional connection to your visualization, the more your subconscious mind will accept it as real. Some of the greatest athletes in history have used visualization as part of their training. Michael Phelps, one of the most decorated Olympians of all time, practiced mental rehearsal every single day. Before every race, he would close his eyes and imagine every stroke, every turn, every detail of his performance, until it was ingrained in his mind. When he got into the pool, his body simply followed what his brain had already rehearsed thousands of times. This is how visualization works. It makes success feel familiar so that when you step into the real moment, you are simply repeating what your mind already knows. Visualization is also a powerful tool to overcome fear and doubt. Many people sabotage themselves because their mind is filled with worst-case scenarios. They picture themselves failing, being judged, making mistakes, and their body reacts accordingly. But when you consciously reprogram your mind to expect success, your confidence skyrockets. You walk into a room as if you belong there because in your mind you already have. You face challenges with certainty because in your mind you've already conquered them. This technique applies to every area of life. If you want to be a leader, visualize yourself making powerful decisions, commanding respect, and inspiring others. If you want financial success, visualize yourself managing wealth with wisdom, making smart investments, and building a life of abundance. If you want a strong body, visualize yourself training with discipline, feeling strong, and pushing past limits. Your subconscious mind will start aligning your actions with that vision. The best part, Visualization doesn't cost a dime. It is completely within your control. You don't need permission. You don't need special resources. You just need 5 minutes a day to close your eyes, see your future, and feel it as if it's happening now. And when you do this consistently, your reality will begin to change. So starting today, stop visualizing fear, doubt, and failure. Start seeing success, confidence, and unstoppable greatness. Because when you see it in your mind first, you'll soon see it in your life. And that is how champions are made. Number 10. Becoming a leader. Elevate yourself and those around you. Leadership isn't about a title or a position. It's about how you carry yourself, how you inspire others, and how you take ownership of your life. The moment you decide to act as if you are the best, you naturally step into leadership. People follow those who move with certainty, who operate with high standards, and who lead by example. Whether you realize it or not, you have the power to influence, inspire, and elevate others simply by the way you show up in the world. The problem is that most people don't see themselves as leaders. They wait for permission, for recognition, or for someone to anoint them as worthy. But here's the truth. Leaders don't wait. They decide. The moment you start acting as if you are the best, people will take notice. They will mirror your energy. They will elevate themselves to match the standard you set. Leadership starts with self-mastery. You cannot lead others effectively if you cannot first lead yourself. This means having discipline in your habits, consistency in your actions, and control over your emotions. True leaders don't operate based on feelings. They operate based on commitment and principles. They wake up early, they execute their goals, they push past excuses, and they take responsibility for their own growth. They don't wait for external motivation. They create it. And because they live with this level of discipline and commitment, they naturally inspire those around them to do the same. People respect leaders who walk the talk, not those who give advice but fail to follow it themselves. If you want to be seen as a leader, become the living example of excellence. One of the most important aspects of leadership is the ability to influence others in a positive way. Influence isn't about manipulation or control. It's about inspiring people to believe in themselves and their potential. When you act as if you are the best, you give others permission to step into their own greatness. Your confidence, your certainty, and your presence create a ripple effect. Have you ever been around someone whose energy was so powerful that it made you want to be better? That's leadership. It's not about forcing people to follow you. It's about living in such a way that they want to follow you. This means being a pillar of strength, optimism, and unshakable belief in yourself and those around you. Leaders lift people up. They recognize potential in others, encourage them to push their limits, and set a higher standard for everyone they interact with. Leadership is also about making bold decisions and taking responsibility. Many people shrink from leadership because they fear failure, criticism, or the weight of responsibility. But real leaders don't avoid challenges. They embrace them. They make decisions with confidence, knowing that even if they make mistakes, they will learn, adapt, and move forward. They do not blame circumstances or other people for their setbacks. They take full accountability for their actions. This level of responsibility earns deep respect from others because people admire those who stand firm, take charge, and own their results. If you want to be a leader, stop waiting for someone else to make decisions for you. Be decisive. Take action. Trust yourself. Another crucial element of leadership is emotional intelligence. The best leaders are not just intelligent or skilled. They understand people. They know how to communicate effectively, handle conflict, and inspire loyalty. They are not reactive. They are composed, thoughtful, and deliberate in how they respond to situations. They don't let emotions control them. They control their emotions. This ability to stay calm under pressure, to listen deeply, and to communicate with clarity makes them highly influential. If you want to elevate those around you, focus on improving your emotional intelligence. Learn to listen more than you speak, to understand before judging, and to lift others instead of tearing them down. Great leaders also build and empower teams. They don't try to do everything alone. They create an environment where others can thrive. This applies in business, friendships, families, and communities. A true leader is someone who helps others win. They mentor, they guide, and they invest in the success of those around them. If you want to be a leader, become someone who others grow by being around. Be the person who pushes people to believe in themselves, who challenges them to be better, and who sets the example for hard work, excellence, and integrity. Leadership is not reserved for CEOs, world leaders, or famous figures. Leadership is a daily choice. It is how you show up in every moment, in every interaction, and in every decision. It is how you carry yourself when no one is watching. It is how you treat people, how you push yourself to grow, and how you respond to challenges. Leadership is about raising your standards, and in doing so, inspiring others to raise theirs too. It is about moving through the world with unshakable belief in your vision and your ability to create impact. At the end of the day, being a leader is about living as if you are already the best version of yourself. It's about deciding that you don't need permission, that you don't need approval, and that you are worthy of stepping into a higher level of confidence, power, and influence. When you act as if you are the best, you naturally elevate everyone around you. You bring out the best in others because you expect the best from yourself. You become someone that people look to for guidance, strength, and inspiration. So stop waiting to be recognized as a leader. Start leading. Start living in a way that commands respect, that inspires action, and that leaves an impact wherever you go. Leadership isn't something you step into someday, it's something you step into right now. The world needs leaders. The world needs people who are bold, confident, and unafraid to raise the bar. The world needs you to lead. So act as if you are the best, and soon you will be. Everything you want in life, success, confidence, respect, influence, begins with one decision. The decision to act as if you are the best, not out of arrogance, but out of an unshakable belief in your own potential. The truth is, you don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to start acting like the best version of yourself. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the way you choose to show up every single day. From today forward, stop waiting. Stop waiting to feel confident before you take action. Stop waiting for success before you start believing in yourself. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to step into your greatness. The moment is now. The greatest achievers in history weren't handed their success. They acted as if they belonged, as if they were already champions, and that belief became their reality. The same power exists within you. Over the last few minutes, you've learned how to reprogram your mindset, build unshakable confidence, overcome fear, set high standards, master discipline, visualize success, and lead with authority. But knowledge alone is not enough. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. That's why I'm giving you a challenge. The 10-day Act as If Challenge. For the next 10 days, commit to living, moving, speaking, and thinking as if you are already the best version of yourself. Stand taller, speak with more conviction, take action without hesitation, and carry yourself with the certainty that success is already yours. Watch what happens when you do this. Watch how people respond to you differently. Watch how opportunities start appearing. Watch how your own belief in yourself skyrockets. Because when you act as if you are the best, you become the best. It's not magic, it's the power of self-perception, confidence, and aligned action. So, are you ready? Are you ready to stop playing small and step into the life you were meant to live? The world doesn't give success to those who wait. It rewards those who decide today. Step forward with power, certainty, and belief. Act as if you are the best, and soon you will be. Your future is waiting. Go claim it.